because of its impact on the environment. It is no secret that data centers and electric vehicles are gobbling up increasing amounts of electricity.
Yeah, and as a result, there is pressure to build even more power lines, which is often controversial, we know. So we asked environmental impact reporter Scott Broom to step in with a look at some new technology that may help.
We are talking about batteries, really big batteries called grid scale storage that some say could replace the need for some power plants. One of the big players in this emerging business is Tesla, which provided the batteries to convert a power plant in California into the nation's largest electricity storage unit. In January, a calamity after that plant at Moss Landing caught on fire after a circuit failure. Utilities in Virginia and Maryland are also working on battery storage facilities which would store power flowing from the grid during periods of light demand and then release it during peak times, which advocates say would even out the flow on the grid, thus reducing the need to continue operating some power plants and to build additional power lines, which are often controversial. Another role for grid-scale storage is to help even out the flow from sources like wind and solar to keep electricity moving even when the sun's not out and the wind's not blowing. Maryland and Virginia both have large-scale offshore wind projects on tap. Paul Pinsky, the director of Maryland's Energy Administration, talked with me about the future of grid-scale battery storage.
We each day realize that battery storage is going to be an important component going forward. It makes perfect sense. Getting energy when the sun shines, but when sun goes down, not having that capability is a challenge. So the idea of storing that energy and then releasing it makes perfect sense.
Or after the wind stops blowing in the change of a weather front in the case of wind generation.
Absolutely.
One proposed site for grid-scale storage is the soon-to-retire Brandon Shores power plant near Baltimore. Owners aim to shut it down because it's old, burns coal, and won't meet pollution standards. Grid operator PJM, which keeps the electricity flowing in 13 states, opposed the battery storage idea at Brandon Shores, saying it's too expensive and will take too long to build. Instead, PJM will keep paying the plant operators to stay open past its closure date despite the pollution, while more power lines are being built to meet heavy demand from data centers and other uses. One of those proposed power lines is the Maryland Piedmont Reliability Project, which has run up against fierce opposition from landowners and leaders in rural counties, including Frederick. The state's Public Service Commission will be holding hearings on that proposal soon. In Maryland, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.
We